Yes. So sorry about that beginning. I guess I wasn't shifting through my tabs correctly. But there you go. And then Duber's got a random question. Was NFA Live canceled? No. We're going to do that tomorrow. Me, Guy, and Ben. It's just that 2 weeks ago I was in South Korea, not North. And the week beforehand, Guy was in Singapore. So we didn't want to screw around with that. And then this is the first week we're all together and no one's really sick or anything. So we'll do that tomorrow. I think that's 9 Eastern. Orodsky says, are you going to buy some game tokens now you talk to Hustle? Yes. Hustle's smart, and he's been in this realm for quite some time. So the things that he talked about, it made a lot of sense. And it wasn't just about individual games. It was about the picks and shovels. And I was like, that's a good idea. And this is the reason why I have, excuse me, other people on my show, because I can't possibly figure it all out. I need smarter people than me. Or the moon. I'm trying. Yeah, legislators they're just people. That's all they are. And the problem with the legislators is that they don't know either, because maybe they don't hear from the right people, or maybe they only hear them for a specific subset of people. So it's up to us to do the things we're supposed to do. Will says, updating your real estate, selling or buying right now, nothing to do right now. It's as far as real estate goes, it's just sit down and collect income, essentially. Short-term, long-term rentals. Yeah, right now is not the greatest time to buy. The rates suck. And if you do that, if you just have straight cash and buying straight cash, things are still overpriced. And the reason why things are overpriced right now is because the amount of inventory is lacking in a lot of different markets. I know some people say, well, Rob, I see like 10 houses down the street and they're open and people are selling. That may be true, but nationally, we have an inventory problem right now. And one of the reasons why we have an inventory problem right now is because so many people bought real estate, which is fine, back in 2021, but it was also the big organizations and entities, BlackRock being one of them, that were scooping up a ton of private properties, residential properties, to rent out and put on their portfolio. And now we have a big, massive amount of these houses that are off the inventory. And it's difficult to get any kind of great prices or good prices or even decent prices these days. So right now it's just sitting back and waiting. Rob, please strive to become a Bitcoin maxi. Too many sleepless nights with altcoins. Not really. Like Bitcoin maxis, they have it easy because they know that's going to be the winner. Not the only winner, but it's going to be the big winner. I think after 13 years, 14 years, we can see where things are going. But Bitcoin is 75% of my portfolio. So I'm only dabbling in another 25%. And Ethereum is like 10 or 12% of the other parts. So, whatever. And then people say, well, Rob, what about the altcoins? What about the altcoins? Sorry about that. Your thought on Internet Computer Protocol? Is it a good investment? Sure, why not? I say that very flippantly, but who knows? And these days it's mostly like a spray and pray type of thing. Hopefully it's, takes off. New pet? No, that's it's cutie. She's been around since March. Deron Williams, Rob, whenever you sell 80% of your crypto, will you sell all your alts and keep 20% of Bitcoin and ETH only, or keep 20% of everything? Just because Bitcoin's great doesn't mean that I am not going to sell it. I'm going to sell it. And I know some people say, what are you doing? You should never sell. You should never sell your Bitcoin. You should hold on to it forever. My goals aren't your goals. You do whatever you want to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your dad. So for me, that's what I'm going to do. That's it. Luxo Cat. Luxo Cat, I'm going to guess that you are a Luxo fan. Any plans to dive into Luxo? I'm a genius. Fabian, work with EU to help with legislations and standards inside with WF, only chain focused on broken standards, not throughput. Probably going to do great. No plans to look into it. Sorry. Not to say that's going to be, it's a bad project or a great project. It's just probably not. I think spray ETF will be it. And Robin's got a great question. I hear a bit of talk on X that we may not see all-time highs next bull run market because Powell expected the rates to be 4% until end of 2025. Was it the same FUD in the run-up to 2021? Oh, yeah. It was even worse. The FUD in 2018 and 2019. Oh, don't forget, we had a global pandemic in March of 2020. We weren't going to see anything. It was going to be dystopian future, and there was going to be tanks rolling through the communities, and we were going to be Mad Maxing it until the end of days. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So when I see stuff like this, I'm like, sure. And every time I hear these things, it's always the same thing. I'm like, could it be extended or could it take, yeah, it could take longer. I mean, a bull run, some people are saying that the bull run is going to happen in 2024. But now all of a sudden, and people say, well, because Jerome said, we're going to see 4% until in 2025. He doesn't know. If he knew it and he had a crystal ball, he'd tell us exactly what it is. He's just making great guesstimates. He also said today that the consumer prices were actually falling down. And I was like, really? All I see is prices going up, but maybe I'm crazy. Nah. QuickTime says, what portfolio tracker to use? Unfortunately, it's just Excel. I am waiting patiently for CoinLedger to come out with their free portfolio tracker. And it's CoinLedger is it used to be called Crypto Trader, and they rebranded CoinLedger. I've used them for 2 years for my taxes. Worked flawlessly. Nothing's like 100% perfect. There, sometimes there's like a little bit of a question I have to have, and then I ask them the question, they tell me how to fix it, and I fix it. Mostly it was because of Celsius. And it works out great. And now they're going to come out with a portfolio tracker, which I think is awesome, because then I can just put in all my, my Ledger accounts and my MetaMask wallets and anything that I, for some reason, may inadvertently stuck on a centralized exchange, and it'll tell me my portfolio tracking. Also, it'll tell me my cost-based analysis of how much that I spent, what's my break-even point, how much I have a profit if I sold at a certain price point. I'm waiting for that. That should be this month, and I'll get back to you, and then we'll go from there. And I'll give everybody the link to use it. But it's free, so yeah. Nope, no idea about that one. That was a good one, Jeff. It's never different. Actually, it's not that it's not different. There are some diminishing returns. I think we can all agree there, right? But let's be honest, 2021 was pretty much a lackluster type of bull run. Although it was pretty impressive in some regards, but it wasn't the heights that we all thought it was going to be. And I thought there was a lot of shenanigans going on behind the scenes. The Celsius, the Voyagers, the FTXs, the BlockFis, the 3 Arrows Capital, and whatever rug pulls are going on underneath. We'll still see some of that, but I don't think it'll be to that degree. I think the next one, whenever that is, I think it'll be pretty fantastic. And it'll be the last bull run we will have that is not heavily regulated, because they're going through it right now. So I think the next one's the big one. Mind-wise, you didn't miss much. We talked about Walmart and Walmart. Oh, let me show you that report that I didn't show you correctly. It's right here that I couldn't show you because I was in the wrong tab. Walmart's getting into Metaverse. They're going to sell the heck out of everything. But the thing that it was, as far as for Citibank said, essentially this is a, where'd it go? Citi estimates that the total market for Metaverse-related commercial activity will be between 8 trillion and 13 trillion by 2030. And in that, it's all about interoperability and seamless exchange between blockchain tech, different forms of crypto, multi-chain trends, and there'll be a combination of crypto, fiat, CBDCs, and stablecoins. That's what it came down to. And then we talked about Solana and daily active users, and then I talked again about Gary and how he's overcompensating by suing the pants off everybody, even though giving no really call. And then we called my my congressperson, and I told Veronica Escobar to get things in gear and try to be a little bit better as far as giving crypto digital asset regulation clarity. That's pretty much what it was. There you go. Man, I should have just done that. Been a lot faster. Yeah. Bridge says, Dan, any thoughts on Cuban being hacked? So Mark Cuban got hacked, $900,000, which isn't much for us, which isn't much for him, I should say. Now, for us, it's a lot of money. And apparently what it was, I thought it was some type of, he clicked on something within MetaMask, but I guess from what I just read today is that he downloaded the wrong update or upgrade for his MetaMask wallet because he used the Google Play Store. Yeah, Google Play. And in Google, there's they let a lot of scams and stuff go through there that Apple doesn't allow. I don't know why they do that or how they do it, but you know, Google has this adage, which is do no evil, but apparently they can't get it right as far as like figuring out the people that actually stay out. And he downloaded the wrong MetaMask. These scammers took 900,000 and they moved it across a bunch of different exchanges. And now Mark's like, I'd like to have that money back. And Google's like, we can't do anything, sorry. So what it really comes down to is, here's how to do this, is if you use an Apple, you're pretty much safer as far as like updating your MetaMask wallet and things like that. But if you're updating anything, go to the official website, whatever that is. And usually what you can do is let me show you. If you want to know about any project itself, use CoinGecko. And let's take Cardano, right? And in here under info over here, it'll tell you the official websites, the explorers, all the wallets that you can use, and so on and so forth. And if you go there, it takes you to the exact website instead of just typing in Cardano, and hopefully it takes you to the right place. So I just use CoinGecko.com to go those things. Let's see, wallets, Cardano. And then also another trick is so usually, like, if you're gonna find MetaMask, if you find MetaMask and they got like 2,000 followers, probably not the right one. Usually the ones with the most followers, although it's not the greatest. Let's see here. Products. Ledger. Yeah. Actually, everything you can find pretty much is right there. Tracer. So that's it. And then, so for MetaMask, the official website, download from there. And that's the best thing. Also, if there's another thing that people do is they'll give you a bunch of airdrops and you'll never know. You're like, what the hell is this? And you'll look at these airdrops and like, oh, I got to click on that because that's free money. And then it's some other phishing attack. There's some way they get into the smart contract itself and they can start taking all your funds. So here's a little golden rule, which is if you don't know what it is, don't click on it. Even though it looks very tempting and it's a shiny object, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. In some of my wallets, I have a boatload of these like airdrops I've never heard of or seen before. I will never click on them. And then that's probably the best advice I can give you. Also, just follow these rules. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose because it's all gone. Everything's a scam until proven otherwise, even if you hear from me. Don't put anything on exchanges or leave them there to within your ability. If you're buying $10 of Bitcoin, you don't have to take the big $10 off every single time. Maybe give it like 4 weeks. If you lose $40 of Bitcoin, hopefully it won't crush you. Don't use leverage and take profits along the way. That's it. That's it. That's all. CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap don't have the most new projects or coins. Where's the best way to find new projects? This is going down the path of riskiness. There's a lot of different places you can find it. Here, I'm going to keep it on within the top 300, 400 as far as CoinMarketCap, by market cap. As far as Money Man, if you're looking for those types of things, a riskier place, I have a second channel called Dan DGen where we get into some more risky stuff, but I haven't even reviewed many of things lately. Everything. Dow says, everything is a wash if you just take profits. If you do, congrats. You're better than like 95% of anyone who actually trades. It's true. I know there's some traders out there that just say it's like the greatest thing of all time. I'm just not that guy. And I think that's it. Wow, TradingView. It's a good question. Where has Jarky been? I haven't seen him in a while. And that's it. All right, everybody. So that's it for today. So look, 45 minutes. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive. Tomorrow, we'll be doing the NFA Live. I believe that's on Guy's channel over at Coin Bureau. And we'll talk about, I know we're going to talk about Jerome Powell and him raising rates. Or excuse me, not raising rates. And but there's also some things, because Guy was in Singapore. I'm looking to get his insight into what he saw and then my insights into South Korea, where I think things are going. That's it for today. So thanks everybody for stopping by. I appreciate you. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.